Oh, hi, audience. What's up? It's Greg Sestero here to introduce you to the True Blue Riffcast, where they talk about amazing movies, bad movies, and everything in between. So you're listening to the True Blue Riffcast. Enjoy it.
Thanks, Greg. This is the True Blue Riffcast, the number one Riff Tracks podcast in the world. Good to be back. I am Jeremy, and I'm joined, as always, by...
Hi, I'm Dave. Oh, hi, Jeremy. Oh, hi, True Blue Riffcast. That was my Tommy Wiseau.
Season 3. Starting off Season 3. For
here in the year 2021.
Yes.
You can believe it. We survived 2020.
Oh.
Yeah.
We've got a couple interesting films to kick the year off, too, from
yeah,
Mike, Kevin, and Bill
definitely.
here.
Jeez, God.
Now, real quick, before we get into this, there were a couple Riff Tracks Presents that were also released. They actually kicked the year off with our friend Matthew J. Elliott and Ian Potter with Invasion of the Bee Girls.
There we go. There it is.
And then we got Bridget and Mary Jo with Earth Angel. And then actually just recently
just this past weekend,
Matthew J. Elliott and Ian Potter release. So we'll be talking about those probably next episode.
Yeah.
But we got to talk about these two, Frozen Scream and Maximum Revenge.
Yeah, they're quite strange, but I would like to take the steering wheel away from Jeremy. I know I've never done this. But just like totally derail the show and talk about something that I want to talk about before we get into all the carefully crafted stuff that Jeremy has put together. So, Jeremy, what is today's date?
Today is February 8th.
2021. Okay.
Yes.
So we just had the Super Bowl yesterday. Tom Brady won his, what was it?
800th, I think.
Yeah. So, I don't think there's, any doubt anymore that he's the greatest quarterback of all time.
Yeah.
And if you have a problem with that, then you're basically living in denial.
It doesn't matter if you like the guy or you don't like the guy. You can't deny that he is a great quarterback.
Not just a great quarterback, the greatest. The man's 43. He's older than both of us, probably. But the point I wanted to make is that I wanted to just settle that date where we are in time, because I'm not sure when this is going to come out. Probably in the next couple days. But in case we don't have another episode before, I just wanted to say congratulations, Riff Tracks. Let's celebrate the 10-year anniversary, February 22nd, 2011, of Birdemic Shock and Terror.
Wow.
It was 10 years ago, February 22nd, 2011. They released it, and it definitely had an impact on my life. Did the Riff Tracks release of Birdemic Shock and Terror 1 decade ago, did that have an effect on your life, Jeremy Pluto?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't really know about Riff Tracks until a little bit later that year that Birdemic came out.
Mm-hmm.
But I did. That was one of the first ones that I watched.
That you went and you got
after I learned about Riff Tracks, because I had seen stuff about Birdemic before and I knew how bad it was, and so I'm like, oh, I gotta watch this one, and I loved it. It was great. And then of course they did the live show after that, and
in 2012.
It
changed the it was a big game changer for Riff Tracks Live. Birdemic was.
Yes, it was, and that's obviously my favorite of the two versions. I always go for the live versions over the studio recorded ones whenever I can.
Welcome back from the edit, everybody. But we all love pancakes. Let's just take a look-see at some of the stuff that came out a year ago at this time. Inception, February 1st, 2011.
Ooh.
Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix, February 15th, 2011.
Oh.
Birdemic, we've already talked about. Highlander, March 15th, 2011.
Wow.
The Karate Kid, Part 3, March 22nd. Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan, April 12th. Matthew J. Elliott in Riff Tracks presents Jurassic Park 3, April 15th. Are you ready for this one?
No.
This one's coming up on the 10-year mark as well. This one kind of hits home for me. The Crater Lake Monster.
Oh.
May 24th. The Devil's Hand, June 1st. X-Men: The Last Stand, June 21st. Oh, here's one I know will get you. The Galaxy Invader, August 5th.
And then right before that, we got some of the At Your Fingertips shorts released.
That's true.
July 22nd and July 26th, we got Boxes and Grasses.
So then it was Riff Tracks Live, Jack the Giant Killer, August 17th. Abraxas, Guardian of the Universe, August 30th. Thor, September 27th, 2011. Laser Mission, October 4th. Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince, October 18th. The Son of Hercules and the Land of Darkness, November 1st. Warriors of the Wasteland, November 15th. Buffalo Rider, November 22nd.
Yeah. Buffalo Rider.
Transformers Dark of the Moon. The last time they did a Transformers movie, well, I mean, it was 9 years ago, more recently, but it's going to turn 10 this year. Ugh. It was November 22nd, 2011. Riff Tracks presents Sherlock Holmes with Robert Downey Jr. By Matthew J. Elliott. And a little cult. I feel like this one's been forgotten a little bit. The Magic Christmas Tree. December 20th.
Such a good release. Such a good release. Yeah, that was a jam-packed year.
Yeah, so lots of really, really good stuff. That's all turning a decade old this year. Thank you, Riff Tracks. In particular, though, I think like the ones that get me the most are, just on a personal level, are Birdemic, Crater Lake Monster, and Jack the Giant Killer. And I guess Buffalo Rider, but that's a little further on down the line. But definitely, immediately, Birdemic and Crater Lake Monster.
Yes, definitely. I mean, and of course for me, Jack the Giant Killer, because that was the first Riff Tracks thing I ever saw, and the fact that was 10 years ago now.
Mm-hmm.
That's a little ridiculous.
Not 10-0, 1-0.
10-0, that's 100, Dave.
That is 100. That is not. This is not the year 2111.
No.
But anyway, so I just want to say congratulations on still being here, Riff Tracks. Thanks so much, and we appreciate it. I'm probably going to watch Crater Lake Monster a little bit later because that's still, like 10 years later, that's still a huge, huge favorite of mine. I've seen it a lot, and I don't ever get tired of it.
No, Crater Lake Monster is really good, really good. We talked about that in one of our episodes, I do believe.
Yes. Well, since it's season 3, we can talk about everything all over again.
Yay!
Yay!
We're not going to do that, though, because there's too much to go through.
Yeah, what are you talking about? There's only like 500 releases. It's like double of Mystery Science Theater 3000 now.
That makes me happy.
Me too.
You know what doesn't make me happy, though?
Frozen Brains? Frozen
Scream.
Frozen Coke, Frozen Spiders. I'm just looking at stuff that's like around my room right now. I'd like what?
If you're pointing out spiders, Dave.
No, I'll tell you what. This is Riff Tracks related to. I'm holding in my hands right now. Something I believe our good friend Margot sent to me.
Oh yeah,
it's from Giant Spider Invasion, and it has Riff Tracks logo right there on the butt.
The squishy spider.
So yeah, that's why I said frozen spiders. So it's right there. It's hanging out right next to my computer. So if you're listening, Margot, thank you for that. I still have that. It still hangs out with me. It's my little Riff Track spider.
Now we're going to be talking about Frozen Scream, the first Mike, Kevin, and Bill release of
the first Mike, Kevin, and Bill release. I'm doing my imitation of the dub on this movie. I don't know. Am I difficult to understand? Is it hard to understand what I'm saying here? I mean, because that's what this movie sounds like.
You kind of sounded like Bane a little bit, but
it doesn't matter who we are. What matters is our plan. What does he say to the guy? Or perhaps he's wondering why you would shoot a man before throwing him out of a plane.
I was born in the shadows.
I was born in the darkness. I was molded by it. I need to watch that movie again.
Yeah.
Riff
so
track.
Frozen Scream.
Yeah, Frozen. No, you mean you don't want to talk about The Dark Knight Rises?
Oh man, this movie. Dave is 100% about this movie. The worst thing about this movie is the dub. Honestly,
oh my god, dude,
this might be the worst dub ever.
I mean, okay, we say that a lot. Like how many times have we come onto this podcast and said, "Oh my god, the dub is terrible."
A lot.
This dub is real bad.
Yeah.
Like I don't know if it's the worst, but it's up there, man.
It's way up near the top if it's not the worst.
Yeah, like it doesn't really have a ghost house effect, but the dub is still just awful, and like there's no reason for it to be unless they just really hate the actors' voices.
Well, and the bad thing about it is that the voices are not consistent throughout the dub. Sometimes a woman will be voiced by a German actress and sometimes an American actress. And they sound like two completely different people because it is two completely different people doing the dub. And it's awful. It is so bad. And the other bad part of this movie, which actually leads me to probably my favorite bit in the movie, was the narration.
Yes!
Because they'll be in the middle of a scene and all of a sudden this guy will just start
narrating. It's just start narrating. I think I watched this like a week ago. Okay. Full disclosure, I watched this a week ago and then something happened. We had to push the recording. A lot of it's left me. So I'm going to do my best to recall what the hell this movie was about. But one of the things that did stick with me is I think a woman's talking on the phone in that sorry excuse of a hospital that they're at for most of the movie.
Yeah.
And this dude just comes on to be like, and yes, wow, total coronet short narration, just comes over and starts narrating while the scene just keeps going.
And then each one of the guys starts narrating their own little thing.
This is reminiscent. That joke was probably my favorite bit, and I'll tell you why. Because it's reminiscent of pretty much the exact same thing they did in a 2015 release called Alien Outlaw, when the heroine was on the phone, and an operator comes on, and it's just impossible to make out what's going on. And Mike, Kevin, and Bill all came on and just did the same thing they did in Frozen Scream. So that was for me, that made the entire riff. I know sometimes we don't really talk about a whole lot about what Mike, Kevin, and Bill say because, there's the riff tracks for that. But that joke in particular, I felt was just chef's kiss.
Yeah. It was a great cacophony, and I was rolling. It was so good. I don't think anything else really came close to that riff wise in this movie.
No, not at all. I mean, I'm sure the rest of it was great, but that in particular was just the highlight of the whole experience for me.
Yeah. So this movie is about a cult that is trying to unlock the secrets of immortality by freezing people and putting controlling discs on their neck, and everybody is either dead or turned into a zombie at the end of the movie. It's really dumb. It's stupid and not even worth really talking about because you're not gonna pay too much attention to it.
Right, aren't there boobs in this movie?
I think so.
I think so. Yeah. No, there are. And like that just goes to show you kind of like how forgettable. Not really. You can see some nipple on there. Like it's
they're mostly covered most of the time.
I wouldn't root through a dumpster for pictures of that or anything, but I mean, yeah, there are boobs in this movie, so watch out for that.
The interesting thing of this movie is how it was released. The movie was filmed in 1975, but it wasn't even shown to distributors until around 1980, and then it didn't get a theatrical release. All the distributors were like, "Eh." And the first time it got released was in the UK in 1983, and then it got released in the US in 1985 as a double feature VHS tape with the infamous film The Executioner Part 2. One of those part twos that there was never a part 1 of.
It's one of those.
Yeah, and when it was released in Britain, it was put on the Video Nasties list. And I know Matthew J. Elliott and Ian Potter will understand that, but what the Video Nasties... Yeah, the Video Nasties, it's a term that they used in the UK to refer to usually low-budget horror and exploitation movies that were put out on VHS, and they were criticized for their violent content by the press, social commentators, and various religious organizations.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, this movie is officially still uncertified and unavailable in the UK.
Doesn't seem like they should be able to do that. This is America. we have freedom of speech if you're not on social media, but that's a whole nother thing.
I like this. I'm looking at the Wikipedia page and under critical reception. Critics had little good to say about Frozen Scream.
You think?
Its poor production values and voice-over narration were common themes, though.
Yeah.
It's awful. This movie is so bad. Thankfully, it's like 64 minutes long. So if you're watching the riff, it's not that long. It's just over.
It's mercifully short. Yes.
Yeah. And obviously there is the riff to save it, because otherwise,
as always, yeah, there's no reason to watch this without the riff. Like, I think that should be a like a thing on the podcast now. We'll be like Jeremy or Dave or whoever's talking. Obviously, we'll say each other's name. And you'll be like, yes, Jeremy or Dave. And then the other one will be like, would you watch this movie on Rift? And most of the time, the answer will be no.
No.
So, Jeremy.
Yes, Dave.
Would you watch this movie on Rift?
No.
See? Yeah, I think like season 3, that's a new department of season 3. Would you watch this on Rift? And that'll be our whole thing. See, see, like we're producing the show in real time. You're welcome. And that won't even be a Patreon extra.
No. That'll be right here for everybody to listen to.
That's right, it's free, you cheapskates.
Oh, yeah. So Frozen Scream, it's a really good riff, obviously. Don't watch it. Don't watch it on Rift.
Don't watch it on Rift. Watch this with Mike, Kevin, and Bill.
Yes. Now we get to move on to the other Mike, Kevin, and Bill release.
Oh God, that's like twice in a row, and like the same podcast. Even where like we have to talk about a movie, and I'm like, oh God.
Yeah, because this one was not great either.
No,
Maximum
not really, no.
Revenge. From actually not that long ago. I mean, it's still a while ago because it was 1997 when it was released. Yeah, so it's 25 years or so, but
yeah,
still it's from the late 90s. But yeah, this is like part Die Hard, part Lock Up,
all part stupid hair. 100% stupid hair. There's not one person in this movie that does not have a stupid haircut.
That's true. I think the guy who bombed the IRS has a pretty normal haircut. Because yes, one of the inmates in this in the Innsmouth, like pretty pretty interesting choice for a prison. But yeah, he tried to bomb the computers at the IRS, so he got put away. And what this whole movie, okay, the very first thing we get is our main character, Mace Richter, police detective Mace Richter.
Does he wear horns on a Viking helmet and a fur headdress and have the American flag painted on his face?
No.
That's not that guy?
No.
Oh, well, then I'm not interested. That guy knows how to make good TV. Let me tell you.
Mace Richter, he's trying to defuse like a hostage situation on a plane. And he has to go in, and they tell him he has to take his shirt off first.
Oh, right. Did they also ask him to bring him a turkey?
No, he wasn't that undressed. He still had his pants on. But he came up, and of course, he shoots the people up there that are hijacking the plane. And one of them was like a prince of some Middle Eastern country or whatever. He's the guy
and he was
said,
very put out.
Screwed everything up. Yeah.
Yeah, he was very like inconvenient. Like he was be like, "Come on, man!" After you watch this human life get snuffed out.
Yeah, and then he got shot by the detective, and then the detective got thrown in jail.
Yeah,
because he killed this prince guy or whatever. So then we cut to like 6 months later or something, and it's the opening of this new prison. He's getting transferred there with 4 other prisoners because the prison's not ready to open yet. And
then what are they? What are they doing?
I don't know. Nothing in this movie makes sense. The warden is giving a tour to some reporters, and this is where things got weird for me because I recognized the cameraman immediately as being a character from one of our favorite movies that we talked about.
You shut your mouth. You shut your mouth with that.
I think we talked about Jacko. He's Schemer from the wonderful Dinosaur Island.
Dinosaur Island. I think Dinosaur Island might be... I think it might be down in my bottom 10 movies of all time. like unironic. Like it's down there with Mortal Kombat Annihilation. It's down there with Star Wars Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker. I don't know which I hate more, honestly. Like Dinosaur Island. But anyway, let's talk about this movie. Let's talk about Maximum Revenge.
Well, I'm not done yet, Dave.
Okay.
So
I'm just trying to express my disdain for Dinosaur Island. Is all I'm saying.
So of course I had to look up the director because I wasn't paying attention during the opening credits, and it was of course directed by Fred Olen Ray, the same guy who produced Jacko, and of course he made Dinosaur Island and a couple other films that it's all like erotica.
Yeah, it's all like,
until it gets to more recent times of him making Hallmark TV Christmas movies,
where he like I'm not even describe what I think that would be like. You know, it's like this is the guy behind Jacko and Dinosaur Island and Maximum Revenge. Wait, isn't this a mega movie?
Yes, that's the other thing that I wanted to bring up. This is a movie from our friends over at Multicom Entertainment Group.
Was it shot in South Africa?
Meg, I don't know. It might have been.
It didn't really have that vibe, that like the Last Unicorn.
Yeah.
Or just stuff like that, or The Fairy King of R.
Yeah. I don't think it was. I mean, it says it was made in the U.S., so most of it was indoors anyway, so it would have been kind of hard to tell that. But
yeah. Oh, also Malcolm McDowell wasn't in this movie, so
yeah,
amazingly.
But yeah, this was a Meg movie, and I actually went back to their catalog, And a lot of the movies, once again, that we've been getting recently are, in fact, Meg movies.
Ooh.
Maximum Revenge, obviously. Vengeance of the Dead was a Meg movie. Bounty Tracker. Charade apparently came from Meg.
Really?
They have the rights to
well,
that.
Charade's supposed to be respectable.
Yeah, go figure.
Maybe
Amanda
they just got the
and
rights.
The Alien.
Maybe they just have the distribution rights for it.
Yeah, it's probably. Amanda and the Alien from Bridget and Mary Joe. Baby of the Bride from Bridget and Mary Joe, and they do have the other 2 movies in that trilogy. So I'm assuming we'll probably get those. But yeah, there was a lot of Meg movies, and we don't mind that because
no, we don't.
There's so much gold in the Meg things.
It's like 2017 all over again.
Yes. This other movie that I found on there, it's Teenage Space Vampires. And I think I've talked to you about this movie in particular before, Dave. Maybe not on the podcast, but I know I brought it up. It's a
Teenage Space Vampires.
Teenage Space Vampires. Yes, it was also released as like Darkness, Teen Space Vampires in Love, or some weird title like that.
Or Zombie, aka I Eat Your Skin. Is that another title for it?
That might as well be, because there's definitely no skin eating in this movie. But there's no skin eating in Maximum Revenge either.
No, there's none.
There's not really a whole lot in Maximum Revenge. There's very little action.
It's very thin. You know, it's like it's kind of it's really telling about your movie when it's so thin that on plot that I Believe in Santa Claus can outpace it. Actually, that really isn't fair, because I Believe in Santa Claus actually has quite a bit of plot to it.
Yes, it does. Terrorists kidnapping parents and Santa and the fairy snow queen, and
yeah, there is none of that in this.
No, there's some guy comes into the prison and he's gonna blow it up for whatever reason, and he gets killed, and they defuse the bomb, and a couple of the prisoners have a heart of gold. The one guy's in there because he saw some guy abusing a woman at a bar, and he went up and
said, "Hey, I don't think you should be doing that. I think that's a mistake."
And of course, one of the inmates shows how bad he actually is by trying to force himself onto the female reporter.
Oh, yay.
Thankfully, that didn't actually happen. But the other thing that I really need to bring up about this movie is the intermittent censoring. Because that was so bizarre, and they do talk about it a lot. Like, basically every time it happens, they're like, "Oh, thanks for self-censoring." But it's always like stuff like ass and balls and stuff like that they censor, because then later in the movie,
not like and things like that.
Yeah. Oh no, they're throwing F-bombs all over the place, and they're not being censored. So it's just like, why censor the other stuff, but not this? It was very weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. And every time they did it, they did the censoring, the guys would make mention of it. And it led to one of our wonderful after credits or over credits outros here.
Yeah, those are great.
Where the censor showed up. Let's see, it was the occasional censor. They call him occasional censor. And he showed up over the credits, and he was talking to Mike, Kevin, and Bill. And it was our friend Sean Thomason providing the voice for that. But he basically
he did you know that Sean Thomason wrote most of The Wire?
Yes, like 64% of it, I believe.
Yes, quite a bit. Yeah.
But he gave the whole, he gave the whole, if you found this somewhere and didn't pay for it, go over to rifftracks.com/donate and make it right. And I'm gonna mirror that statement. If you found it somewhere online and you didn't pay for it, go pay for it.
Yeah. See, okay. Let me ask you this, like about that. I think that came about in 2014. It was around the same time when we got that it's time for Riff Track's theme song. Okay, after years and years and years of no theme song, and then at the end, every time they say we're saying like go to rifftracks.com/donate and throw some money our way. Did that seem weird to you at first?
When it first started?
When it first started, yeah. But now they've been doing it for so long, it's just like part of the thing.
Yeah, it's just that's what it is. That's the thing now, and it's fine. And
no, it's fine. No, I'm just reflecting on the fact that like it's been like when it first started, it seemed like super weird, but now it's probably been just even longer as they had like without it, because I think they started like 2014, if I remember correctly. That's like the institutional memory. I don't think they were doing it in 2013. Just thinking back on some of the riffs, like the Apple, because I know they definitely
they didn't have it for the Apple.
Yeah, I think they definitely did it in the last Slumber Party, which was 2014. Yeah. So I'm just trying to do math, and I'm failing at it. Anyway, I think it has been longer that they have been doing it than they haven't. So again, we've been around a long time. So is Riff Tracks.
Yep.
We're the ancient of the ancients.
I think my other favorite thing from this movie is the credits, like the actual credits of the film, because they have a lot of Alan Smithies, but they're not Alan Smithy.
I didn't bother looking at the credits. I usually tune out.
Yeah, they have.
I'm usually out of there.
There's Woody Drawers.
What?
Woody Drawers was credited for the on-set dresser.
Woody Drawers.
The set decorator was Art Deco. First AD Bruce Banner, second AD Reed Richards.
Wait a minute, that's not fair. You can't
Boom
do
operator
that.
Stretch O'Connell.
Is this a joke?
First assistant camera Ted Stryker. Second
Nobody
assistant
wanted
camera.
to be part of this. Okay, look, either this is a joke, or these people didn't really exist, or nobody wanted their name attached. Those are like the only three possibilities. It's a joke, these people didn't exist, or nobody wanted their names attached to this movie.
I think nobody wanted their names attached to this movie.
You think it's option C?
Yes, I do.
I don't know what I think at this point. Because I think it could be any one of the three if they're like saying Bruce Banner and Reed Richards. It's like, come on.
Yeah. Just make up a name.
Like, stop it. You know, it's like people are going to notice that.
Yeah. No, it's very obvious, and it's probably the best part of the whole movie. If I had to be honest, it's probably the best part of the whole thing. Yeah, this quite a good
dude. These people either didn't exist or it's a joke. Because didn't you say that this was also okay? Let me tell you something about the director of this guy. Okay, let's go back to Dinosaur Island. Okay, these are the same people who wrote into a script and put in a film and put in like these words came out of the guy's mouth. What a coinky dink. And I resemble that remark. Same people who put these kind of credits on their movie. Okay. So like, that's kind of what makes me think this is like some serious juvenile bullshit.
It could be. I don't
because like it's that stupid. It's that stupid, and it's totally believable.
Yeah, with this guy, you never really know what's actually going on.
He's a perpetual 14-year-old. This man.
Yeah.
Anything else? Any other? What a man! I hate this guy. Like I don't even know him, and I hate his guts.
Detestable.
Anyway, so Jeremy.
Yes, Dave.
Would you watch this movie on Rift?
I'm going to give that an emphatic no.
Okay, cool.
Hey, Dave.
Yes, Jeremy.
Would you watch this movie on Rift?
No, absolutely not.
I didn't think so.
Okay.
Somehow that answer is not surprising to me.
Anyway, so it's $10 at rifftracks.com. Go get it.
This is another one that's pretty short. It's 75 minutes or something like that. Just barely over an hour.
Welcome back from the edit, everybody. I got to think
Dave
about
was suggesting something that wasn't a good thing to suggest.
Yeah, no. I didn't want to impregnate that marshmallow, but I didn't feel like I had a choice.
And on that note, I think we're done talking about Maximum Revenge.
So
it's good to be back, Dave. It's good to be back.
It is great to be back. See, have you been to the movie theater recently?
The what now?
The movie theater.
What's that?
You know, the movie theater where we used to go see Riff Tracks live.
I seem to have slight recollections of such a place existing.
You know, like I think, you know, we've seen such classics in the movie theater, such as Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas and Follow That Bird. We've seen those movies in the theaters. That's where we saw those movies for the first time, was in a movie theater.
It's funny you brought up Follow That Bird because I just watched that with my kids the other day.
Really? I haven't seen that movie in a long time.
It's on HBO Max. Not a plug, not an ad.
Well, I mean, how good is it? Because I remember it fondly. I remember it as one of the very first movies I ever saw in a theater.
If you can still look at Sesame Street stuff and kind of just get that little happy feeling deep down inside, then you'll enjoy watching.
Yeah, Sesame Street from the 80s.
Yeah.
Not the abomination that's Sesame Street after the 80s. Like I don't know, man. Anything after like the Muppets in general, anything after Jim Henson died, it's a real crapshoot, man.
Yeah, it was either still really good or it was holy crap, I'm never gonna watch that again.
Yeah, it's horrendous. But like I don't know. I think I might want to give Follow That Bird. Like I don't remember very much about it. I know Big Bird turns blue, but can you watch it as an adult? Is what I'm asking here on the True Blue Riffcast.
I had no problems watching it again.
Okay.
I actually own it on DVD.
Oh, wow.
It was one that my wife wanted to get rid of, and I'm like, we're keeping that. Let's Follow That Bird.
Let's Follow That Bird.
Yeah.
It's, I wish I could remember anything about this movie I haven't seen in 30 years. I know I know Big Bird turns blue.
He sings a duet with Waylon Jennings.
Oh, Sean Thompson just liked one of my tweets. So hey, look, thank you, Sean.
Yeah, no, it's. I think it holds up.
All right, cool. Yeah, hey, Riff Tracks, Follow That Bird. So I have an excuse to watch it. No, why not? They could riff good movies.
They can, but that's just Sesame Street. I don't know.
Yeah,
it's just weird.
That would be kind of like I remember people back when, I mean they still do, but back when I used to pay attention to it, like other people recommending what riff tracks should riff. One of the movies that people would recommend, like, do this, you have to riff this movie. And one of the movies that people would recommend all the time was Batman the movie from 1966 that was based on the television show. And it's like, you can't do that.
No.
Like, that's not, like number one, that's a good solid movie. People are like, oh, but it's so dumb. It's like, that's the point, idiot.
Yeah.
You know,
it's
how
like the whole series was made.
Yeah, let's talk about that for a bit. What's one movie that people always recommend that riff tracks should do, but you're like, no, that's dumb. They shouldn't do that. Do you have anything that's like that?
Birdemic 2.
Yeah, they shouldn't do that. I actually, in fact, I think I could tell this story now because it's been long enough, and I don't think James Wen or the guy that I'm speaking of will listen to the podcast. So, one of the producers of Birdemic 2 got in touch with me after all that stuff with Storybook went down. And he told me all kinds of crazy stuff about James Wen. And apparently, I won't say his name, you know, like one of the common criticisms of Birdemic 2 is that it is an intentionally bad movie.
Yeah.
And one of James Wan's famous defenses, he lost creative control of the project. This dude told me that this was a 100% James Wan movie. That everything that's in that movie is in it because James Wan wanted it there. So this widespread criticism of Birdemic 2 being bad on purpose is completely unfounded. And that's something that I wish would get out there more, because I think James Wan deserves more blame for how Birdemic 2 turned out, because apparently it's all his fault.
Yeah. Well, did we really think otherwise, honestly?
What, that it's not all his fault?
Yeah.
Well, no, but that's the line, that's the assumption. But it's not true. He's a liar.
Surprise, surprise.
Screw that guy. But yeah. So, but anything other than Birdemic 2?
Samurai Cop 2. Another movie that was.
Have you ever seen that?
Yes, I have. I watched it, and it was another intentionally bad. There's one point. Okay, the waiter from the first movie shows up as a. He's is he
in a car? I've only seen bits of it.
He's a flight attendant.
Yeah,
and
oh god,
he goes up to Mark Fraser's character, and he's just like, "Oh, I have something for you," and he's like, "Oh, what's that?" And he hands him a present, and it's a black box, and they make the joke about the gift again.
Oh god!
And,
oh no!
And he looks right at the camera and winks. Best part of that movie, and I'm not even joking about this. The best part of that movie was any scene with Tommy Wiseau.
Apparently, it was a disaster trying to film that guy on that movie. Just from things that I've heard.
Yeah.
But just that not necessarily that he was a prima donna on the set or anything, but just he was getting real frustrated just trying to act. which doesn't surprise me all that much.
No.
So so Jeremy, is there anything else to talk about here on the True Blue Riffcast?
No, sir, I do not believe so. Other than the fact that if you enjoyed this podcast, you can support us, throw us a couple bucks by going to patreon.com/trueblueriffcast. And we put up announcements and little sneak peeks and bloopers and all that kinds of fun stuff on there just for you guys. We also do short reviews of Riff Track shorts, which we will probably be doing some of those again shortly. So look forward to that. Anybody who does that on the Patreon, you get those 2 days before everybody else does, just as a little special thank you. But yeah, that's all I got for today. And I am Jeremy. You can find me at pbandawesome.com. You can find me on Twitter at pbandawesome. You can send me emails, jeremy@trueblueriffcast.com. And you can follow the podcast at tbriffcast over on Twitter.
I'm Dave Chadwick. You can check me out on the web at davechadwick.info. I'm kind of relaunching my whole rebrand internet presence there. Go there, check out the prologue for my new novel Monkey. I'm not sure if I'm going to serialize it or publish it, whatever, but you can read the prologue there if you would like. So davechadwick.info.
And you should definitely go read that. I read it a little while ago and I highly enjoyed it. And I think you probably will too.
Oh, thank you.
Especially if you're a fan of the podcast, definitely go check it out. And until next time, guys, stay safe out there and be good to each other.
Yes, and rock till you die. Be sure to do that. Bye, everybody.